Thank you very much, Charles and Marielle. I'm very delighted to be here today. Greetings, everyone, from sunny Durban, South Africa. Uh, so the table that we can see on our screens, it's lifted from the 2017 Platformer study, and it basically summarizes the type of cooperation, modalities, flows, and methodologies. And before we move any further, I'd like to encourage our practitioners on the ground. If you haven't encountered these terminologies before, your corporations and your modalities and your methodologies, etc., to not be overwhelmed. This is a learning process at the end of the day, and we're all here to learn. And we'll just take it by step, and we can just have an open mind and have an open approach to it. Okay, so as a point of departure, it's helpful to note that over time, the nature of decentralized cooperation has changed. And previously, it was known as the transfer of aid from the north to the south, and it was known as vertical partnerships. And today, it involves a complex variety of horizontal partnerships reflected in Agenda 2030's principle of universality. Now, today, in today's context, you'd find that more recognition is given to partners in the less capacitated context and limited resources. So today, I will be covering the types of cooperation, namely your direct cooperation, your indirect and delegated cooperation, as well as development, education, and awareness raising, together with the related modalities. Insofar as the flows and methodologies are involved, I will leave it to be addressed a bit later. Can we go to the next slide, please? So when we look at direct cooperation, so direct cooperation is the partnership between the local and regional governments, wherein the resources, expertise, knowledge, experience, all of these factors, they flow in between the different territories in multiple directions between the multiple actors. Originally, it was known as north to south vertical partnerships, as I alluded to before, and today they flow in the multiple directions. And different modalities of direct cooperation can be identified, and the most commonly used by local and regional governments are vertical, territorial, local government agencies, or international cooperation, as well as the network. So I'd like to focus on these four. I'd like to spend some time focusing on these. When we refer to vertical modality, this modality is largely centered on the bilateral and multilateral relations, and it's traditionally based on the rich north and poor south narrative of aid transfer. So it's been a move towards the more horizontal approaches owing to their higher levels of ownership. And then territorial partnership, it refers to the creation of structured bilateral and multilateral horizontal relationships between the local and regional governments. It also reflects the Busan principles and fosters exchange of knowledge, expertise, and shared innovation. And it's also focused on reinforcing the local strategies. So when we have a look at the local government agencies for international cooperation, this modality it strengthens operational capacity through peer-to-peer learning. So it ensures uh, more effective public policies and fosters innovation based on local knowledge. And last but not least, we will cover the network modality. This modality it emerged as a way to support decentralized cooperation. And this modality it provides training, exchanges, as well as advocacy to create enabling environments to local and regional governments. Next slide, please. So now we're at indirect cooperation. So indirect cooperation, it involves local and regional governments encouraging the actions and developments, cooperation for other actors. It's, it's largely structured around the geographical and thematic priorities. So it also involves your co-financing scheme. As for this modality, the local and regional governments provide support to the local NGOs through calls for proposals, for instance. And its key characteristic lies in its local associative fabric represented by NGOs and is committed and mobilized and strengthened, contributing to the development and greater social cohesion at the local level. And of course, some of the local and regional governments, especially the larger cities and federal countries, also use what is called delegated cooperation. So you might be asking yourself, what is delegated cooperation? So it means that bilateral uh, agreements are managed by third actors or with organizations or agencies such as the United Nations. Next slide, please. So we are referring to, on this slide, we're referring to development, education, and awareness raising. And here, the decentralized corporations' aims and funds are used by these very initiatives. And this focuses on encouraging local citizenship in the global arena and promoting the sustainable development goals, your peace, and your human rights. This can be fostered by the local and regional governments or the NGOs that specialize in the decentralized corporation. And it's very important to note that decentralized corporation here is an umbrella for the scholarship programs that finance the visits of students and academics from partner countries.